Listeners of this podcast, I try to be as honest with you as possible, especially when I'm talking about myself. I mean, who knows me better than me? And, my life hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows. I've had some cloudy days. It hasn't been perfect. But I don't think I have ever gotten to a level of despair where I threaten someone's life for a pack of cigarettes. I haven't gotten there yet. I mean, a man in the care of a Whitby mental health hospital has been charged after he allegedly pointed a gun at a man and took a pack of cigarettes. So there's some mental health there. So that should be taken into consideration, I guess. But Durham police say the suspect and the victim actually knew each other. I feel like that makes sense. They were near a home in the area of Byron Street South and Victoria Street East in Whitby. This was on November 14th at around 7:30 p.m. Now, at the time, police say the suspect asked the victim for a cigarette, just one, without being provoked, pointed a gun at the victim's chest and threatened to kill him. Fearing for his safety, the victim handed over the entire pack of cigarettes. That seems like the logical thing to do. If you're going to point a weapon at my chest over a pack of cigarettes, I'm probably just going to give it to you. So during the investigation, police say the suspect was determined to be in the custodial care of Ontario Shores Centre for Mental Health Sciences. Investigators also located a gun, which police say the suspect hid on the Ontario Shores property. That's wild. So once recovered, the weapon was determined to be a replica. So that's good. But even still, like, how does somebody sneak a gun, whether it's fake or not? Obviously, it was real enough for this other guy to think that he was about to die, right? So how does that even happen? Like, what kind of security do they have at this hospital? But I digress. So on December 6th, the suspect was arrested at Ontario Shores on a judge's order. A 35-year-old man has been charged with utter threats to cause death or bodily harm, point firearm, disobey lawful court order, and 2 counts of possesses firearm while prohibited. Look, I get the whole mental health thing. I really do. If we are going to lean into that, I still point the blame at the hospital. So he should have never been able to leave the hospital in the first place. And even before that, he should have never been able to bring the gun in. But if he did somehow manage to sneak the gun into the hospital, like, are they not tossing the rooms? Like, has TV been lying to me? Like, they make it seem like these rooms get tossed all the time. So I feel like he should have never been able to leave with the gun in the first place to do this. So again, I point the blame at the hospital if we're to lean into, okay, mental disorder. So, I mean, I guess they're going to charge him, but I wonder how this is actually going to play out because, again, he clearly has mental issues. So if he does get found guilty, I'm pretty sure it's going to be on something light. But, if you have a problem with that, that's Ontario. It's where you live. So I don't know if you guys could tell or not, but I'm sick. This isn't how my voice typically sounds, right? My daughter, she had a stuffy nose from Friday, and we just stayed on top of that, me and my wife. Like, if your kid has a runny nose and then you start to see mucus, if you don't tend to that ends up on the chest, which turns into a cough, which can turn into other things. And at the bare minimum, he or she just has a cough for like 3-5 days, depending on your kid's immune system. It could be longer than that. So I'll spare you the details of blowing a kid's nose, but and some parents they use this I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a saline mix, and you kind of spray it in one nostril, and then everything just comes out the other one. It looks extremely uncomfortable, but it also looks very effective. Like, there's tons of videos where you can actually see this stuff, and I showed it to my kid, and I'm like, hey, look, because she hates Vicks, right? Because it burns, especially you put it around the nose, and that's what we were doing. And we were like, look, we could either do Vicks or we could do this. Now, if we do Vicks, it's going to take a couple hours depending on, how much mucus you have in you. But if we do this little saline thing, it just comes out instantly. And she chose the Vicks. So it did take some time, but she got better. Me, on the other hand, I got whatever she had. So that's why I sound the way I do.